One should be at their happiest a week before marriage, but you soon start to get confused. We find out about each other's shocking past a week before marriage. Why are Wonchul and Sumi getting married? Because they've been dating for a long time. What's stopping the love between Gunho and Vika? A strange symptom that starts to show on Gunho's body. Meanwhile, everything is moving quickly for Era and Debo. But marriage is a reality. It's so different and it's not how they thought it would be. Then we have Somi, who accidentally joins a group tour of a women's society through the mistake of the travel agency. During the trip on Jeju Island, Somi continues to bicker with the guide, Hyung-soo, drawn to a fatal love a week before marriage. Will they be able to overcome their marriage blues and get married?
Now, Jason, this week's movie is called Marriage Blue. I think I can expect to see some funny stories, some jitters.
Yeah, unfortunately, I couldn't relate to this movie because I didn't have any big wedding jitters, although I did have a few jitters before I proposed to my wife.
Okay.
And I had a lot of butterflies in my stomach, and should I do this? Is this the right thing to do? But nothing before the wedding itself, which is what happens in the movie.
Yeah, we have several couples in this movie. What did you think overall? Did you like the movie?
Yeah, it's a very fun movie. It never takes itself too seriously. I love the decor in this movie, the use of colour and mise en scène and that kind of thing. And so it's a nice romantic comedy that we come to recognise from Korean cinema. There's so many of these kind of movies that get released, and I think they tend to get more mature over time as well.
And I guess marriage is also something everyone can relate to. It's probably going to happen once in your life, at least, and yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, and I heard it's based on some real experiences too.
Okay, so we'll now talk about the people, and I think we have different couples.
Yeah.
Okay, now Jason, let's talk about the couples here. We have 4 different couples in this movie. It might get a bit complicated, a bit tricky to follow each story, but let's start with the first couple, the youngest one.
Yeah, the youngest one, or the youngest couple, they're played by Go Junhee and Lee Hee-jun, who are rising stars in the entertainment industry here.
Yeah.
And they play the youngest couple. They meet in a nightclub. They spend the night together. They feel they have to get married very quickly. And
why is that a problem, getting married quickly?
Yeah, well, because they spent the night together. I think that's one of the reasons why they feel that they must get married very, very quickly, because of the kind of, sometimes culture can be a little bit conservative, and so they feel they have to get married. And
what are the obstacles then?
Well, it's everything. They basically disagree with pretty much everything from the honeymoon, the logistics of the wedding, and meeting the parents, that kind of thing. It's all a big problem for them, and the mother comes unannounced in his apartment, and the daughter's father is a church minister, and so there's all these kind of issues that they have to face, and it's quite tricky.
Some very funny scenes, I'm sure.
Yeah, chief among them, the scene here with the nightclub scene where they're dancing on the dance floor or the stage. Some very, very humorous scenes, and I was very impressed with Go Junhee. I think she gave the finest performance of the whole lot, to be honest. She's a very young actress, and yet she's demonstrating that she can actually act rather than just have a pretty face.
Okay, so that's the first couple, the youngest one.
The youngest one.
Now, Jason, the next couple is, I think, showing off some realistic acting in this movie.
Yeah, this couple is an interesting couple because it's not the first time they've been on screen together. We've got Kim Yo-jin and Kim Kang-woo. They were together in Im Sang-soo's The Taste of Money, which is a far more serious movie. Here they have a very interesting chemistry. The character that Kim Yo-jin plays, she plays a urologist, as you can see here, and Kim Kang-woo plays a baseball player. And so it's a bizarre combination.
From 2 different worlds.
From 2 different worlds, and so they're constantly bickering,
Keep fighting, basically.
Arguing over everything and anything. Some big fights, some small fights. They're a very affluent couple. You see that from their apartment. They have a lot of money.
So money is not the problem here.
Money is not the problem, it's their lifestyles and their priorities and so on and so forth. I love the fact that they were a couple previously in Im Sang-soo's film, which is a very, very different movie. And yet here they're also a couple and they don't take it too seriously. I quite like Kim Kang-woo, he's more of a kind of a humorous guy here. And an interesting couple of actors here.
With some very intense fighting scene, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, constantly. Yeah, really fighting very, very aggressively. And Kim Yo-jin, she certainly has a lot of bark, as well as bite, of course.
Okay, sounds good. So that's the second couple.
Yeah.
Now, Jason, out of the 4 couples starring in this movie, the third one is actually an international couple.
Yeah, and I love this. It's reflective of a changing kind of multicultural
society
that's happening here in Korea at the moment. So we do have an international couple. We have Ma Dong-seok, who plays a florist, and we have Gazelle, who's an actress from Uzbekistan. And they play this very interesting couple. They've both got a lot of energy. Ma Dong-seok plays this florist, and he has to go and see a urologist, and so that's how this story thread is linked to
the previous couple,
the Kim Hyo-jin. She, like we say, plays a urologist, and so that's how that's connected. And yeah, this couple has a lot of energy, and they have to deal with cultural differences. And Ma Dong-seok's character is, again, always amusing. He always brings a certain charisma to the role.
So each couple basically has different problems, a different type of love, and this one is also quite young, quite explosive, right?
Yeah, exactly. Young and explosive. But different kind of love, but it's all very genuine. They all love each other. And so, apart from perhaps one couple that we'll talk about, but the love is there, it's tangible to see. They just have to overcome all these difficulties.
Okay, that's the third couple. Now, Jason, the previous couple we just mentioned was pretty much like Beauty and the Beast. Now, this time, the fourth couple, what are they like?
And this is an interesting couple. Actually, it's not really a couple. It's three of them.
It's a trio.
It's a trio, except they don't all know it's a trio. Ok Tae-kyung from 2PM, he plays this rather talented chef who's able to cook beautiful, what looks like beautiful food. And we also have Lee-yeon-hee, who plays the girl, and then she goes to Jeju Island, and then there's a bit of a mix-up, and so she ends up being with this travel guide who is also taking around some of these Korean women as well, some of these older Korean women.
So she falls in love with this tour guide.
Exactly, she falls in love with this tour guide played by Ju Ji-hoon.
And this is what, just 1 week before her wedding?
Yeah, 1 week before her wedding, so... Is she falling out of love with the chef and falling in love with this tour guide? I don't want to reveal too much because if I say too much, I'll reveal the end of the movie. But yeah, she has this kind of confusion, these kind of premarital confusion.
Hesitations.
Which guy should she go for? Should she go with the new love or the old love? And is that old love true love? And so we're seeing, is it real love, or perhaps it was a love of the past but not love now?
Yeah, you have to try to understand your own heart and maybe also take into account all the risks that go with it.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's the fourth couple in the movie.
That's the fourth couple, but I would say the character Ok Tae-kyung plays, he's a very understanding guy.
Very open-minded.
Very open-minded, in my opinion.
Sounds good. Well, thank you very much for your details here today. We'll see you next week again.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
All right, everyone, if you want to participate, if you have any comments, any feedback, join us on Facebook and tell us what you think. We'll have another edition of Showbiz Theater next time. Bye-bye.